In this video, we're going to begin the process of building out a custom theme. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about one of the most important files, and that's the info file. So we're going to talk about what the info file is, why it is that it's so important, and then what information is actually contained within the info file. While downloading and installing Drupal themes from Drupal.org is usually all we'll ever need, with some minor customizations, in order to have a great-looking Drupal 8 website, in certain circumstances, you may actually want to develop your own theme. That way you have full control over every little aspect of the theme itself. So in this particular video, what we're going to do is we are going to begin the process of developing our own theme. And the theme that we're going to be developing is the example theme from Drupal.org, which is called Fluffiness. So the first thing that we need to do is create a new theme folder for our theme. To do that, we're going to go to our htdocs, into our website, and into the themes. And in here, we're going to create a new folder, and we're going to title that folder Fluffiness in all lowercase. Now that we have our folder titled, we need to drag this into some sort of text editor so that we can start creating files. In this case, I'm going to use a text editor called Brackets. So now we're going to drag the Fluffiness folder into the Brackets text editor, and this will allow us to easily create subfolders and files straight from our editor. So the first thing that we need to do in order to tell Drupal that we have a new theme is to create a file called an info file. Now without this info file, Drupal doesn't know anything at all about our theme, that it even exists, or what to do with this folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new file in here, and it has to have a very specific name. The name of the file must correspond with the folder that we've created. So in our instance, we're going to call it fluffiness.info.yaml, YML. Once we have the info file created, there's a specific set of lines that need to be found within this file so that Drupal can detect that we have a new theme. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the example code from Drupal.org into this file, and we'll go through it line by line. Now, Drupal tells you right on the website that it is very important that you don't use tabs within this file and that you only use spaces. So let's start by taking a look at the very top of this file. The first thing that we see is that we give our theme a name. Now, this name doesn't necessarily have to correspond to any files or folder names within this theme. However, it's usually a good idea to name it something similar to the folder name, as this is the corresponding theme name. Right below that, we're going to tell Drupal what exactly this is. So we're going to give it a type, and we're going to let Drupal know that this is a theme. We can also tell Drupal that this is a module, in which case this wouldn't work for what we're trying to do. However, know that that is an option, and that's why we need to specifically declare the type. Below that is a description. Now this is just a generalized description of the theme. In this case, the example is a cuddly theme that offers extra fluffiness. In your case, if you're developing an actual theme, you may want to name it something a little, or give it a description that's a little bit more descriptive as to what the theme actually is. Below that, we're going to tell it what core version of Drupal that this theme corresponds to. In our case, it's Drupal 8, so we're going to give it 8x. If we put 7x into this particular field, this theme wouldn't work for our Drupal 8 site, so it's very important that it corresponds to the version of Drupal that you're using. Below that is the library section. Now, this is pointing to a component within the Fluffiness folder called Global Styling, and that's where we're going to define all of the different style sheets that make up our particular theme. Next up, we have Style Sheets Remove. Now this is something new to themes in Drupal 8. This allows us to actually remove style sheets from Drupal core that may interfere with or make the styling of our particular theme a little more difficult. In this case, we can see that the classy CSS components tabs.css file has been removed, as well as normalize.css from core. Now, again, these may be CSS sheets that interfere with our theme, or that just make our theming a little bit more difficult, and so we just remove them. Below that is a very, very important section, and that's the regions for our theme. If you remember back to several episodes ago where we had talked about block regions, and we viewed them by clicking the Demonstrate Block Regions button. Well, this is actually where we declare those different block regions. So in this particular theme, we can see that we have a header, we have a content section, we have one sidebar, and a footer. Now, the only thing here that is absolutely required in order for our theme to work is the content section. And you can see that that's noted there with a comment. If this content section doesn't exist, then our theme just doesn't work. That's really it. That's the basis of an info file for creating a theme in Drupal 8. Now, as we progress through here, we're going to look into the different files and folders that make up the rest of the theme that make this theme really powerful. However, now we have enough information, so if we save this file, to actually turn our theme on in Drupal. So if we head back over to our website, and we come into Manage and Appearance, if we scroll down, we'll see that Fluffiness is now available to us as a theme. So let's install and set it as the default. Once our theme is turned on, if we head back to our website, we'll be able to see that our new theme has now been applied, and that there's really no styling involved in it, and it looks pretty bare. But that's what the other files in our theme are for, and so we'll take a look at those in the next episode. In the next video, we're going to dive into some of the other files and folder structure that takes place in a typical theme.